Hello everyone, my name is Liz and today I have a cozy stretch to help you feel relaxed during the busy holiday season. Starting with some cat-cows, we'll transition to all fours, line the wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips, then inhale, drop the belly to look forward, and exhale, arch your back to look towards your knees. Continuing this motion at a pace that feels right for you, moving with your breath. Never pushing too hard at the top or bottom here, just trying to create some nice movement rather than force your spine into a stretch. From here, we're going to change the movement just a touch. Instead of moving through a cat-cow with that arch and flex, we're going to draw some circles with the rib cage, moving one way and then the other. Moving a little slower through areas that might feel a little extra tight or sore. And then once more, we'll find neutral spine. From here, we're going to curl the toes under and send the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Relaxing through the head and neck, allowing the heels to fall towards the floor, and keeping a soft bend in the knees here. Those deep breaths going in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we'll slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. Relaxing in a forward fold. Option to tuck the hands underneath the feet for a bit of an extra stretch. You can also clasp opposite elbows if that feels better for you. Now releasing the hands down to the floor before walking the feet as wide as the mat and dropping the hips down into a squat. Bring the palms together at the chest and press your elbows into your legs. Opening through the hips here. Chest is open, shoulders are back and down, gaze is forward. If your heels don't quite reach the floor here, no worries. And then we'll plant the palms and walk it all the way out to a high plank. Holding just for a second or two, rocking back and forth if that feels good. Before we slowly lower all the way to the belly, uncurl the toes, and lift the head and chest for a cobra pose, keeping the shoulders dropped down away from the ears. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, lower to the floor. Now we'll extend the left arm out long as we pick up the right leg and place it on the floor on the left side of the body. We're creating a big stretch in the left shoulder and the left chest here, but particularly in that left shoulder. You can keep your head relaxed on the floor or prop your head up on your right hand for a little bit of extra cushion. Bring it back to center. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Extend the right arm out long, and then pick up the left leg and place it on the floor on the right side. And then coming back to center. Now we'll bend the left leg and then the right, grab the feet, and push the feet into the hands to lift the legs and the chest for a bow pose. If this is a little too much for you, no worries. Just work on bending one leg at a time to stretch through the quads. And then we'll release that pose before we press all the way up to our high plank position. and then send it back up for downward dog. Now we'll lift the right heel up to the sky for a three-legged dog and drop that heel down towards your glutes before we draw two big circles in a clockwise direction with the knee, opening through the hip. Let's reverse the direction. Let's do two circles counterclockwise, keeping equal weight between all points of contact. And then we'll bring the leg all the way up and forward into a lunge, bringing the palms to the chest and the gaze forward. Squeezing the glutes and the inner thighs to keep strength in your base. Then left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Hands remain at prayer for a twist. And then we'll drop the left hand down and open the right arm up to the sky, releasing the back knee to the floor before we reach the right arm to the back of the room. Option to bend that left leg and grab your foot. If that's a bit too much, just keep reaching towards the back wall. No worries there. And we'll drop the back foot, bring our right hand back to frame the front foot, lift the back knee, and step back to a high plank. Then we'll chaturanga into an upward facing dog, uncurling the toes, and send the hips up and back, downward dog. Now we'll lift the left heel up to the sky before we drop that heel down towards your glutes, drawing two big circles counterclockwise, opening through that hip, and then reverse the direction. We'll draw two big circles clockwise. Pressing evenly into both palms. And then that left knee comes all the way up into a lunge. Lift the palms to the chest and bring the gaze forward, squeezing the glutes, bracing in the core. Now hook that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Turn your gaze to face your palms, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Then we'll drop the back knee, plant the right hand, and open the left palm up to the sky. Now reach the left fingertips towards the back of the room. Option to bend that back knee, grab the foot, or just keep reaching, keeping the foot down. Your choice. Then release the foot, bring the left hand back to the front, lift the back knee, and step back to your high plank. Rocking a few times back and forth here in our plank before we chaturanga, upward dog, and then we'll send it back to child's pose this time. Toes together, knees together, reaching the palms forward. Taking nice deep breaths in this resting pose. And then we'll transition all the way onto our backs. Walk the feet in nice and close to the glutes. Then press down through the heels to lift the hips to the sky for a bridge. Option to interlace the fingers together underneath you here, getting a nice stretch through the shoulders. Really reach the knuckles forwards towards the heels and see if you can stretch them towards the floor. If that's too much for you, just hold that bridge. And then we'll release the bind and slowly lower the hips to the floor. Now hug the left knee into the chest and extend the right leg out long. You can move that knee back and forth in your hip if that feels okay. Finding a little bit of compression. You might feel a stretch in your glutes and hamstrings of the leg you're hugging. This is a fantastic pose for digestion. And then use that right hand to pull the left knee across the body for a single leg twist, keeping the backs of both shoulders on the floor. Coming back to center. Hug the right knee in here as well. And then we'll extend the left leg out long. Again, finding a little bit of movement in the hip if that feels okay. Then left hand pulls the right knee across the body for your single leg twist. I like to lift my knee up pretty high towards my chest here. I find I get a better stretch in my hip and glute this way. Well, hip and glutes, I should say. But if that's a bit too much, you can keep the knee a little lower down. Again, please do what works for you. This should feel nice. Coming back to center. Again, we'll hug both knees in. Take a few seconds to relax, maybe finding a little stretch in the lower back in this position. And then we'll grab the soles of the feet before kicking both feet up to the sky. Really kick into your hands as you pull the shoulders back and lengthen the tailbone along the floor here. You should feel a big opening in your hips. Option to rock back and forth here, or you can just stay still. And extending the knees just for a beat or two if you have the hamstring mobility. Again, if this is too much, just stay in your happy baby, keep the knees bent. And let that go. From here, we're going to roll all the way up to a seat and transition to a comfortable cross-legged position. Now we'll drop the right hand to the floor and lift the left arm up and over for a side body stretch. You can come down onto the elbow or stay up on your palm, whatever feels better. And then we'll windmill over the legs to make our way to the same position on the opposite side. Really rolling the shoulders back here, open the chest, look towards the ceiling. And then we'll repeat that motion, swinging over the legs to the opposite side, continuing this movement back and forth at a pace that feels right for you, moving with the breath. Inhale to sweep, exhale to stretch. And then return to center. Sit up nice and tall. Take one more deep breath in through the nose and one more long breath out through the mouth. Then we'll bring the palms together at the chest and gently bow the head. And congratulate yourself on a job well done. All right, everybody, that is it. I hope you're feeling nice and calm and relaxed. Happy holidays, have a great day, and I'll see you very soon.